Hey everybody, I just wanted to record a quick blurb for you to put in front of this here show. So I want to apologize for how late this show is. You see, it is Sunday currently as I'm recording this. Hopefully it comes out today, it should. And things got fucked with this one, guys. I'm sorry. We had to record with OBS. Nightster, I should have trusted Nightster to do it because he's not that it's Nightster's fault. Well, I mean, like it is Nightster's fault, but it's not Nightster's fault in that he doesn't know how these things work. So there was some scuffed issues with the audio, some background music that should have been there sometimes, some volume inconsistency. So I tried my best. This one probably still sounds a little rough, but I nursed it back to health as best I could. And it took me a few extra days to do it, and that's why we're late. So I'm sorry about that, and I hope you enjoy your show. Welcome to Megazord Radio. It's the podcast where we talk about and rank episodes of the Power Rangers television franchise. I am your host, Riely, joined, of course, by my wonderful co-host. He's here. He's British. Get used to it, folks. It's Nightster.
Hi guys, I am the British.
He is the British.
Indeed.
Folks, we're back to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Always exciting. My favorite show. This is a pretty good set today. I'll say that leading in. This is a good set.
Yeah, that was some good episodes that we watched.
And I'm ready to talk about them. The first one is A Star Is Born. That is season 1, episode 32. It aired November 15th, 1993. Written by Cheryl that's her name. Written by Cheryl Saban is her actual name. And directed by Terrence H. Wickless. I said H really weird there, but you get the picture. So we start off where we're getting right into it today. No preamble. It's no Power Rangers news. There's nothing going on. We're just ready to dive in. I guess we did a new Sentai review. I guess that's the one order of business. So if you want to check that out, that's in the Sentai review playlist, which is now just the Sentai movie review playlist instead of the Riely and Crow Sentai movie review playlist. So that's out now. A new episode of Mishu Crew. I'm really fumbling today. A new episode of Issue Crew movie reviews about Ryu Soldier versus Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger. So if you want to check that out. But yeah, we're starting off at Angel Grove High. Here we go. The Power Rangers are gonna go to the beach. It's Tommy and Zach and Kimberly, I think. I don't remember if any of the other Rangers were there, but those were like the important ones in this particular scene.
Yeah.
So they're talking, and Kim's like, "Hey Tommy, are you gonna go to the beach with us?" And Tommy says, like, "Yeah, man, I wish, but like, guess what? I'm auditioning to be in a karate commercial." And everybody gets all excited because Tommy might be on TV. Wouldn't that be crazy if Tommy Oliver was on television?
Do you imagine? Looks at camera.
Who would watch that? Who would watch that show, honestly?
Yeah, who would watch a Tommy Oliver show?
Find out next season and the following 3 seasons.
Pretty much.
Anyway, folks, I'm sorry I'm sucking water down, trying to defeat the phlegm in my throat. I'm dying. I'm slowly dying. Will we make it through season 1 before I die terribly? That's the question of Megazord Radio.
Or will this be the final episode before he...
Or will this be the final episode? We won't even make it to Green Candle. It'll be tragic.
I'll have to do it on my own.
Yeah, it'll just be you. Maybe Co-Royalty will jump back on.
Maybe.
To avenge my death.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tommy's gonna do this commercial, but wait a minute. Bulk's like, don't get your hopes up there, Tommy. Bulk is gonna walk in, and Bulk is also gonna audition for this karate commercial. And Bulk's got a scarf on, and Tommy is there's also the limo joke that I really like, where Bulk and Skull walk in and Skull's like on the phone,
Yeah.
and he's like, did I stutter? It's an audition. Of course I want a limo, and they hang up on him. And then Bulk is gonna audition for the commercial. And Tommy's like, "Oh, so you're gonna do something like this?" And then he takes Bulk's scarf and does a complicated karate routine with it. as Bulk and Skull's eyes are like about to pop out of their skulls, trying to follow all of his moves. And this does not deter Bulk even a little, by the way, just so you know.
No.
There's also a gag later with Bulk that I was not expecting this soon. It took me because I remember this guy. I have a visceral memory of this gag, but I really thought it was season 2. So I was thrown off by it today.
You think you were thrown off? I was shocked. I didn't know it was a thing.
Bulk and Skull are in top form in both of these episodes, by the way. I think this is when they start coming around, it's seeming like. Because I remember they were really good in Calamity Kimberly, and they were really good in both of these episodes.
Yeah, I'm starting to really like these two now.
And then after this season, they become actually sympathetic human beings, so it completes the transformation, and they're just the best characters.
Yeah, they started from just these weird bullies to, okay, these guys are funny. And I'm taking your word for it that next season it's like full fleshed out sympathetic people.
Yep, that's when their path begins, and then by In Space is when they have their big moment. They're the longest running characters in this show by like a country mile, by the way. You have to know that about Bulk and Skull. That's the interesting thing about them. Is like nobody could even approach the level of Bulk and Skull. Bulk in particular, more so than Skull, because there was there was like 2 Lost Galaxy episodes that Bulk was in, and also he was in Samurai for all of it, whereas Skull was only in 1 episode.
Oh, Bulk was the one that was in all the Samurai.
Yeah, it was Bulk and then Skull's son, but then Skull shows up in the finale.
What was the other way around?
Oh, you thought it was Skull and Bulk's son? That'd be funny.
No, I thought it was Skull and Skull's son.
It was just him being his Spike's dad, and now Uncle Bulk is babysitting him, teaching him how to be a samurai. But yeah, no, they're in the show right from the beginning, and they remain in the show consistently up through In Space. And I'm pretty sure Bulk is in the opening credits of Lost Galaxy, but he's only in 2 episodes of Lost Galaxy, which is interesting.
Also,
and then
honorable mentions. It's not really Bulk, but Bulk's actor was in Hyperforce as
that's true.
One of the main cast. He was the Yellow Ranger in Hyperforce.
That's awesome. I'm glad they got him for that. It's really interesting that there's like a tabletop campaign that's like canon to Power Rangers. I do need to get around to just watching it.
It is good from what I've seen.
I should put it on my ranking of Power Rangers seasons. Where does Hyperforce fall as compared to this actual television?
It'll be the next one we did.
Yeah, we'll do Hyperforce once we get there. That'd be funny. Those would be like 12-hour podcasts.
Oh my god, we're gonna be here literally all day.
Because every Hyperverse session is like every Hyperforce session is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
We have to do it in like chunks.
Episode
it would take us
1.
like a year to cover Hyperforce.
Yeah, I feel like if we did do Hyperforce, that would be kind of the same way that we're doing Cosmic Fury, where we do it every other week as a separate thing from the current season, I feel like.
Maybe that could be an interesting concept at some point. But regardless, where were we? Bulk and Skull. We're doing silly stuff. We love our Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, Bulk is wearing the scarf and Tommy's just like, oh, you really want to... undo stuff
Yeah,
like
Tommy
this.
does the first of many shadow boxings that will be done in this string of episodes.
We can't forget those memorable Tommy grunts.
Yeah, the
Every
hi-yah,
time.
seat-yahs that got him in
Aya.
trouble with Disney for swearing, because it sounded like he was saying the S word, which is why he doesn't do that in Dino Thunder.
I never heard that. Like, it always just sounds like the word sit. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
no. It's obviously not a swear word, and everybody knew that back then, but Disney was not familiar with Tommy's game, and they heard it, and they were like, can you not swear? This is a kid's show. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was a really bad move on Disney's part, because that was like one of the best bits about Tommy's fighting, is hearing that.
You know, that's also the season where he roundhouse kicks a T-Rex, so we're even.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue of the day in the teenagers' lives, is that Tommy's gonna be on TV, maybe. We go to the moon. Rita's feeling sick. She's like, I hate this. I want a day off. And Goldar's like, but you have to lead us to victory. And she's like, you do it though. And he's like, okay, I'll lead us to victory.
I love Goldar in
So
this episode. He's good.
he's great. I love Goldar.
Like, I know he's not a good guy, but he's a good guy to Rita at least.
Yeah, well, you say that now.
Okay, maybe sometimes he is, sometimes he's not.
Get ready for season 2, episode 1, folks.
That's actually not that far away.
No, it's really not. I'm so excited for season 2. The thing about season 2 is, like, people at season 2 actually has, like, generally negative reception amongst the fan base, it seems like. But, like, I have such deep nostalgia for it. It has its flaws. Those Megazord fights in the first third are gonna be rough. But I love season 2, and I'm interested to see where you fall on it.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, because I don't think I've seen many of it so far.
And my favorite episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in general is in season 2. So I'm excited to get there.
I'm excited for the Green Ranger to return in season 2. That's going to be good.
Well, Nightster, I have some news for you. You're not going to have to wait as long as you might think.
He come back in season 1.
He does come back in season 1.
Jesus Christ.
How many episodes is there? Let's look. When is Return of an Old Friend? I think it's 46 and 47. Let's see if I'm right. Return of an Old Friend. 49th and 50th. Okay. So. And then what is Green Candle? Green Candle.
PR, Green
MNTR. 34th and 35th. So we go 15 episodes without the Green Ranger.
They couldn't go 20 episodes without bringing him back. That's how iconic the Green Ranger is.
That's true. They didn't want to get rid of him in the first place, so that he fucking died in the footage, and they were like, well, shit. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place here. And then they got the Jew 2 footage, and they put the Green Ranger in there. So they brought Tommy back.
That's going to be one that we cover in 2 weeks, Green Candle.
I'm very excited about Green Candle.
Me too. It's a Tommy episode, so it's going to be good.
I don't know if I'd even consider it a Tommy episode, funnily enough.
It's about the Green Ranger.
Well, yeah. Okay, enough about Green Candle. Now I'm getting distracted.
Yeah,
That's next time.
The Tommy fights, well, not fighting, but shadowboxing to, I guess...
Tommy shadowboxing, Rita is taking a day off, so Goldar's gonna destroy the Power Rangers while Rita takes a nap.
Yeah.
Then we go to the auditions. Tommy's there. Bulk and Skull are there. I'm trying to remember what happens in the audition hall beforehand, because that's not here. There's definitely an interaction of some sort.
wasn't it Bulk that goes in?
Yeah, Bulk goes in first, I know that, but I was thinking there was something that happened in the hallway beforehand. But regardless, yeah, Bulk goes in first. Bulk obviously does bad. Although he did a pretty good roundhouse kick in the Rockstar. So, like, you should have busted that out here. Like, he's not all bad. He's not as bad as you would think he would be. But he botches the audition. He does goofy shit. The girl tells him sarcastically that he's their man. And Bulk comes out. He's like, "Hey, Tommy, I'm their man. You don't stand a chance." Then Tommy goes in there and he Tommies it up. Tommies it right up. Which actually, that doesn't happen yet, but we all know that Tommy's going to go in there and Tommy it right up.
Oh, there was something that we missed for Bulk's audition.
Oh, what was it?
They go to the beach first.
Oh, the beach scene is first.
Yeah.
I know we cut back to the beach now, and they're playing ball.
And there's the whole scene where Tommy shadow boxes, and then it cuts to Goldar and Rita, and then it cuts right to the beach. So Bulk and Skull are trying to find a spot. And
Bulk and Skull are trying to find a spot at the beach, and
that was not
Bulk
an
gets
image
hit by
I
a
needed
ball.
to see. I did not need to see shirtless Bulk.
I mean, you're gonna see them all shirtless at some point. They go to the beach and stuff, you know. But
it gets more
yeah, Bulk and Skull are trying to find a spot. They find a spot, and by that I mean Bulk gets hit by a ball in his stomach and falls, and then says, "Yeah, this is a good spot."
Yeah.
And they mess with the Power Rangers for a little bit. Whatever, it's really inconsequential. And then they go and lay down. And it's time to get a tan because he's got to get a tan for the commercial. So he tells Skull to put the oil on him. Skull opens the oil up and accidentally squirts the entire bottle at him. He's like, "I wanted a tan." Coming? Yeah, who would have seen that coming? Wow, Bulk gets gooped, wild. He's like, "I wanted a tan, not a bath," and then he spits out a little bit of it. And he like tells Skull to try again, but the bottle's empty because the whole thing exploded on Bulk. And he's like, "Well, shit, now I can't try again." But then he has a thought, and he looks in the cooler, and what is there but Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise?
And the freaking, like, the fact that it had a voiceover.
Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise.
I actually laughed at that.
I was not ready for Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise today. I knew it was coming. I knew all about Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise. I will think about it until the day I die. But I could have sworn it was like a post-cast change episode bit. So I was not ready for it.
I wasn't ready because I didn't know about it.
I know all about Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise. You merely adopted the Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise. I was born in it, molded by
Bane. Okay.
it.
But the most
by the time I saw fake brand mayonnaise, I was already a man.
I think the most disturbing part of this episode, though, comes in this scene where we just see Skull rubbing mayonnaise over Bulk.
Rubbing mayonnaise all over Bulk. Just getting it in there. And obviously, the mayonnaise does not work as a substitute for sunblock, kids, in case you were curious about the scientific implications of that. It does not work, is the answer.
Don't try this at home.
So, the Bulk gets very sunburned, and he shows up to the audition, he's very sunburned. At some point, he's, like, talking general shit to, like, Tommy, and then Skull pats him on the back, and he's like, "Oh, you fucking asshole! Stop! Don't hit my sunburn!
Don't touch my sunburn!"
He has the sunglasses on, also, and when he goes to do the audition, they make him take the sunglasses off, and he has... his eyes are, like, messed up because he's sunburned.
Yeah. Like, his entire face is red, but his eyes were protected.
And then his eyes are not. Yeah.
So now he goes into the audition.
He goes in the audition and he botches it, and that's the bit. And then we go to the Power Rangers. Sans Tommy, obviously, because he's at the audition. At the beach, playing ball. And then Scorpina shows up, and she's got putties. And things have escalated very quickly now. And the Power Rangers morph. And Scorpina's like, hey, meet my pet worm. Get him, boy. And then Pet Worm, who I don't think gets a name. So he's just Scorpina's pet worm.
Third-born Rangers pet worm. Weave worm.
Weave worm, okay.
That's his name. I also think
they get... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I feel like with this scene, was one of the first times I really felt the Power Rangers to Sentai footage exchange, because they were on a sandy beach, and then it just switches to a rocky beach and like a street mid-fight. You're like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm shocked this is the first time a Sentai footage change has given you whiplash in this show, because this show is not really good at them this early on.
Yeah, the first time I remember noticing it, at least, like majorly. Serious whiplash from that.
I feel like they don't really figure it out until, like, Zeo.
Maybe. Wait and see.
Pose. So yeah, Weave Worm traps the Rangers in a cocoon. And they can't teleport, their communicators don't work. And then the putties throw it off a cliff, because this beach is also on a cliff. And they get sent to the ocean. And we go to Zordon and Alpha's like, aye, Zordon! The Power Rangers are in trouble! And they try to call Tommy. But Tommy doesn't have his communicator, because he goes in for his audition, and he leaves his communicator in his bag.
Yeah.
So yeah, he leaves, and there we go. Welcome to America's favorite game show. Why can't Tommy morph today? It's because he's left his communicator in his bag to do the audition. This is like the famous one, kind of. Like, this is the one I think of when I think of what... This and the net thing, which happens more than once, as it turns out. We'll talk about that next time. But next episode. But yeah, so he leaves his communicator. He aces the audition, though. So that's good for him. Eventually, the Power Rangers are like, hey, what if we use our guns, though? And then we can break out. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess we do have guns. Let's do that.
And Jason
and they
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that Jason is really smart about it as well, because one line that I remember was, put the blasters to low power, because in case it backfires and they reflect back, it wouldn't do as much damage, because it's just low
power. That's smart.
Good thinking from Tommy. From Jason, I mean. Fuck.
From Jason. Tommy's not even here. Tommy's doing karate for TV.
I haven't been awake for long, shush.
I understand. So they escape the cocoon, and Zordon immediately teleports them to their Zords. Because Goldar has sent down Babe Ruthless, a baseball monster,
yeah.
Which, like, obvious, like, dumb Power Rangers name for a baseball monster, and also, like, weird to sit, like, people like baseball. Like, baseball's America's favorite pastime. How did they not write a baseball episode? They were just like, we're gonna put this guy here randomly in A Star Is Born.
And name
halfway through
after a famous baseball player.
Yeah, so the Babe Ruthless is on the loose. They do an Indivigi fight, a rare Indivigi fight, where they're Goldar is here, Scorpina's here, and Babe Ruthless is here.
Yeah.
And they fight with their individual Zords, but they can't do it. at some point, Tommy leaves the audition and hears his communicator. Zordon reaches him, and he morphs. He arrives. He calls the Dragon Zord. The only thing he's good for nowadays.
Yeah. Just call
Calls the
the
Dragon Zord. They go Dragon Zord battle mode, which is a mode that I like, and I'm glad it gets a few more hits before Tommy heads out.
Yeah, I do like that battle mode.
Yeah, so, and what's weird is, so Jason gets in Dragon Zord battle mode and sets Tyrannosaurus to remote, so that's an interesting thing, that it just has that ability.
Yeah, like, why haven't they done this before?
Because this is kind of a spoiler, but, like, I won't give you the context. But at some point in Season 3, Billy has to build a thing for the Ninja Megazord to be remote. So why are these Zords, they just have it, and those ones don't?
Yeah, the writing sometimes is a bit myth like that.
But regardless, they destroy Babe Ruthless with the drill attack that is surprisingly graphic for this children's show.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that as well. Like, they shoved the drill right through him, and he has a hole in his chest.
It's like fucking Cassie Cage's fatality in Mortal Kombat 11, where she kicks your heart out of the chest.
That makes her a replacement heart of her fingers. But in this one, there's even a shot where the camera is pointing through the hole in his chest, and we just see the dragon's battle mode just through the hole.
It's pretty wild.
That is insane. And Goldar's pissed.
But then, yeah, Goldar's pissed. He's like, "You think it's over? It's not over!" And they leave. The Goldar and Scorpina leave, but then Scorpina attacks somewhere else in Angel Grove. So the Rangers dismount their Zords, and they go to meet her without Tommy. You see, this is the point where I feel like this is supposed to be two separate episodes that they kind of mash together. Because, like, at this point, they go to confront Scorpina without Tommy. And Scorpina's like, "Now my worm will grow, it'll get you again." And then the Rangers at this point disassemble Dragon Zord battle mode, and we literally just see the sequence backwards. And they form the Megazord. Then the Megazord gets trapped in the cocoon. And then Tommy shows up. I think they're like, "We need Tommy, we need the Dragon Zord." And Tommy shows up and he's like, "Here I am, guys, morphed and ready." And it's like, "Tommy, what are you talking about?
You're already
You
here.
just fought another monster together, and you were already morphed from that. They know you're morphed."
And they play the exact same clip as well of Tommy on the roof.
Well, that's because they don't have footage of the Green Ranger, because I'm pretty sure he's already died in Jew Ranger at this point, and they're just kicking their feet.
Yeah, and there is a scene that they play a lot in Mighty Morphin, I've noticed, but twice in the same episode is a bit nuts.
A little nuts. But regardless, Tommy calls the Dragon Zord, even though the Dragon Zord was already there, because they disassembled Dragon Zord battle mode to make the Megazord. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And this was after
And then they
cocoon the Megazord.
Yeah, they uncocoon the Megazord. They call Titanus. They do Ultra Zord. Do they call Titanus and do Ultra Zord? Because the article says Mega Dragon Zord, but I really think it was the Ultra Zord.
But Jason says it's time for Mega Dragon Zord power.
Yeah, but they always do that before they call Titanus too.
Yes. Titanus wasn't in this episode.
Okay, so it was Mega Dragon Zord.
It was Mega Dragon Zord.
It's next episode where they do Ultra Zord.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mega Dragon Zord finishes off the bug monster. We go to the moon. Rita's pissed. She's like, I take one day off, and I ask you to do this very simple thing that I was never able to do in the past 30 episodes. And it's kill the Power Rangers, and you can't even do that. You're pathetic. I hate you all. And Squat and Babu, or Lunk and Babu, I'm sorry. I'm breaking kayfabe. Lunk and Babu are like, we weren't even involved. Why are we getting yelled at?
And even Goldar's
And
like, it was Finster's stupid monster.
It was Finster's fault! He made bad monsters! And Rita's like, I hate you all. I just want to win. Don't attack the Power Rangers ever again without me.
Like, that's how you win. Just don't fight the Rangers.
Yeah, just stop.
Give up.
Give up, exactly. We go back to the youth center. The Rangers are watching TV. They see a news report about the Power Rangers, and they're all happy with themselves as usual. And they're waiting to watch the commercial, and Bulk and Skull show up, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna watch that commercial because I got the part. So I don't know what you're so excited about." And Tommy's like, "Okay." And then the commercial plays, and he's like, "Do you suck at karate?" And it's Bulk. Are you the worst at karate? Are you the most pathetic excuse of a human? Just attempting to do karate in the most embarrassing way possible, like this guy here, like this teenage boy that we filmed. Or do you want to be an expert at karate instead, like this guy? Come do karate class.
And that guy is obviously Tommy.
That guy's obviously Tommy. And Bulk is humiliated. Tommy is won. He's in the commercial. Ba 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 da ba 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 ba. End of the episode.
It was in this episode, yes.
So, Nightster,
Yes, Riely.
who's your favorite character in A Star Is Born?
Only because of the name Babe Ruthless.
Yeah, that is a temptation because of the name.
Also, the fact that he was given such a violent death. Like, damn.
Babe Ruthless, okay. Who do I think was the best character in A Star Is Born? You know what? I'm gonna do. This is the first time I'm giving it to him. I've given it to Skull before, but I think I'm gonna give this one to Bulk.
I can definitely see why he was good in this episode.
I really enjoyed the Bulk and Skull stuff in this episode. Bulk in particular was good. I liked his fun. His karate routine was fun. He just wants to be on TV, and his friend rubbed mayonnaise all over him.
Yeah, which is forever burned in my mind.
Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise.
Oh, I'm not going to go over that.
By the way, my favorite scene is Timmy P's real brand mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's my favourite scene too. I don't think there's any other correct answer.
Now we gotta rank it, and I feel like it's really good.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
a pretty good episode.
I think it's better than the Rock Star.
Oh wow, so
Number 12.
we almost hit the top 10.
Yeah, I really like this. I don't think it's better than Gung Ho. Gung Ho is a really iconic one, where Tommy and Jason team up, and it's cool. So I don't think it's better than Gung Ho, but I think it's better than the Rock Star. Do you agree, Nightster?
I would agree, yeah. I think a nice new number 12 spot is a good place.
Coming in at the new number 12, A Star Is Born.
Now I just need to...
Yeah, now we just gotta fix the numbers on all the other ones so that they're correct. You're a lot faster at this than me.
I'm done.
You're Mr. Fast Fingers over there.
That's what they call me.
The ladies love this guy, folks. Alright, I fixed it. Okay. Next episode.
The Yolk's on You.
The Yolk's on You. That is the 33rd episode of the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, aired November 16th, 1993. By the way, I just feel like I should mention this, because I just thought about this, because I saw it here. A Star Is Born is the finale of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reversioned. That's it for Reversion. A Star is Born. That's where they stopped.
Oh, wow.
The ill-fated 2010 reversion of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they paid a 12-year-old boy $5 to put a bunch of annoying graphics on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Christ.
So that's officially over. So Yolk's on You never got reversioned. There's only one true version of the Yolk's on You, and it was written by Cheryl Saban, directed by Terrence H. Winkless, same as the last episode. So we're at the youth center. There's a talent show happening. Jason and Tommy are going to do a karate together, but they forget their belts. And Jason's like, don't worry about the belts. And Tommy's like, no. I need to go get the belts. It's very important that we have the belts. So he leaves to go get the belts. And I wonder if something happens to him that prevents him from morphing on this trek to get the belts that he goes on alone.
I wonder. It's not like it's Tommy or anything.
Yeah. So we cut to the moon, and they see that there's a fish man on Earth. And Rita's like, who sent this fucking fish man without my permission? And Lunk and Babu are like, was it us? Ooh. And Rita's like, oh, wait a minute. I told Finster it was my birthday. So maybe he sent him as a gift, as a surprise for me. So he probably needs help. So Goldar, go help my birthday present kill the Power Rangers. So she sends Goldar down there. We go back to the youth center. Bulk and Skull are looking for some eggs. They smell boiled eggs, and they have found the boiled eggs. And then Principal Kaplan walks in, and he's like, what are you doing with those boiled eggs? And Bulk and Skull are like, nothing, Mr. Kaplan. We're just looking for our instruments so we can check them before we go on stage. And then Skull bangs some cymbals in Bulk and Mr. Kaplan's face. Classic stuff.
And this scene surprised me.
How so?
You have Bulk, you have eggs, and you literally have someone making a loud noise, and Bulk doesn't get gooped?
Well, they did specifically say the eggs were boiled. There was no goop to be had. They were solid eggs.
True. Like, that was an easy setup. Like, say, if they could have just said they weren't boiled and then have a chance to goop him.
True. They had the restraint to not goop him this time.
Yeah.
I forget if he gets gooped in this episode.
Maybe. We'll have to find out as we go along.
We'll have to figure it out as we go. So
I've got the episode pulled up, so if it happens, I can just be like, oh yeah, it happens now.
So Rita's gonna send Goldar to Earth, and Squat and Babu, Luck and Babu, sorry. She's gonna send them to Earth. But Tommy is like around in that vague area, so they're like, Tommy's gonna ruin everything, so we gotta send some putties to go after Tommy. So they send the putties. Tommy kicks some putty ass, but then one of the putties steals his communicator, and starts running away. And Tommy's like, "Oh, you want to play, huh? I need some practice before my audition. Anyway, not the audition. That was last episode. I need some practice before my talent show performance. Anyway." So he chases the putty. The putty has his communicator. Then the putty stops, and Tommy's like, "Give me my fucking communicator. I'm not playing anymore." And then he gets netted by a trap. They do a trap, and they net him up. Which I did not remember that Tommy got netted by multiple times by putties. I did not remember that was a multiple use excuse for why can't Tommy morph today. But it turns out, yes, it is. I forgot about that. So Tommy's in a net again.
And not only is he without
It's like the fucking Fairly Odd Parents. A butterfly net. Oh no!
And not only is he missing his communicator, but he drops his frickin' morpher.
Drops his morpher. How did the putty not immediately deliver that to Rita?
I have no idea. Like, we see later that they're just messing with them.
Yeah, they're just goofing with it.
I was half expecting the one holding the morpher to morph.
That would be funny.
I'm pretty sure it's not possible, but it would have been fun.
Goldar Squad and Babu show up there.
Yeah.
Lunk and Babu.
Lunk and
I gotta
Babu.
remember
Lunk.
kayfabe. They show up there, and they find Lunk and Babu find some eggs, and they're like, "Ooh, eggs!" And they eat the eggs. The really gross, green, slimy eggs. Well, the eggs, like the shell is like a grayish, purpley color, and they open it, and there's like green egg slime in there. And then the fish guy shows up, and he's like, "No! Those are my fucking Goonie bird eggs, bro! You know how hard it is to get Goonie bird eggs in this economy?" And like and Babu were like, "They were good though. We liked them." And Fang's like, "I'm gonna fucking rip your spine out, bro." And he gets really aggro. So that's where we leave that for the moment. We go back to the youth center. They're like, "Where the hell is Tommy? He should have been back like a half hour ago. He's not answering his communicator." Kimberly makes a joke about it, and then Zach's like, "It's not funny." It's kind of weird, but he's like, "He might be in trouble." It's like, "You're right. We better go like figure it out." But then they get a call on their communicator. They get told to teleport to the command center. They do, and Zordon's like, "This is Fang. He's bad. Also, Tommy got captured, but you can't help him, even though there's 5 of you. None of you can go to help him. You have to fight Fang."
Yeah, that was a bit weird. Like, surely at least one of them could go, help Tommy, and then they could have a 6 Ranger thing against Fang. But no.
That's Rangers, baby.
Because of footage, they're not allowed to do that.
I'm starting that phrase. There's a phrase in the Pokemon community. That's mods, baby. That you say is like a fuck it phrase when RNG just destroys your life, because that's just the nature of the game. Just whenever writing is completely stupid, like, yeah, that's Rangers, baby. Don't worry about it.
That's Rangers, baby.
But yeah, they go to fight Fang. Goldar's like, "The Power Rangers have Goonie Bird eggs, so kill them and you can have Goonie Bird eggs." And he's like, "Yes, my Goonie Bird eggs!" He's very concerned about his Goonie Bird eggs. This monster.
He is.
Only Goonie Bird eggs can sustain me. So yeah, the Fang fighting the Rangers. Goldar knocks the Rangers off a cliff. Rita shows up and tells Fang, "Hey, listen to me and you can have eggs." And she shows him how she can make the eggs again instead of eaten eggs. Her body is a machine that turns eaten eggs into non-eaten eggs.
Rewind time on the eggs.
So yeah, but then she undoes it and she's like, "You better kill the Power Rangers and then I could give you eggs and now I'm gonna make you grow." And here's a silly thing in this episode. So Rita's down. She's on Earth. She's directly perpendicular to Fang. But she throws her wand to make him grow. And it still cuts to the shot of the wand coming from the sky down. Even though she's directly perpendicular to Fang.
That's Rangers, baby.
That's Rangers, baby. That's right. So Fang grows.
And turns into Wolverine.
Yep, and then he gets Wolverine claws. That's true. We go to Tommy. Tommy gets out of the net, kills the putties, gets his communicator and his morpher, morphs, joins the others. It's Zord time. Dragon Zord battle mode happens, but they can't beat Fang with Dragon Zord battle mode, so they call the Ultra Zord, which destroys him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what happens. It's not a particularly interesting Zord fight, standard fare.
Standard stuff. Just a bunch of weapons blasting, destroying Fang.
Well, that is what Ultrazord does. It just fires a million guns.
Yeah, just heavy artillery Zord.
And then, we go to the talent show, already in progress. Ernie's like, where have you guys been? You're next! So Jason and Tommy go up. They do a karate routine where they kind of shadow box at each other, and then they karate chop through some boards. And then it's Bulk and Skull time. And Bulk and Skull give a metal music performance. And you know what? It's not good, but I do love it.
Yeah, like, kind of endearing.
It's very endearing. Bulk and Skull do a song about how they're mean and they're bad, and the geeks better watch out because we're Bulk and Skull and we're awesome. And we close out on their beautiful song.
Yeah. Amazing ending.
All right, beautiful ending indeed. All right, what's our favorite character? Nightster, what's your favorite character in The Yolk's on You?
I went with Goldar in this one.
Goldar.
Yeah. Because I feel like he was like showing some intelligence, like battle intelligence in this one. Like how he told them once the Rangers had the eggs, and that's how he got him to fight them. And he was doing some different stuff throughout the entire episode. So he was the one that stuck out to me the most.
That's fair. I also, there's one thing I didn't mention real quick. I'm not going to give my favorite character to Bulk again, but I do want to give a mention to Bulk for his fit. Because his fit was tight today. The Bulk had a good fit. That beanie, that big puffy beanie, just kind of worked. It kind of put the whole thing together.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
But who was my favorite character in The Yolk's on You? This is a very egg-centric episode.
I mean, it's called The Yolk's on You.
That's true. I like how do you see the eggs backstage? Are they like only there to foreshadow what happens in like the next scene? Like, why did we need to foreshadow eggs?
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
But regardless, my favorite character this episode. You know what? I really like just how absolutely. You know what? No, I'm changing my answer. I like when Rita has to manipulate monsters into doing things. And I think that scene was really well done. I'm probably going to give that my favorite scene too. And I think I'm going to give Rita my favorite character for probably the first time because I really like that.
Yes, fair.
So, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, I'm probably going to give it to when Fang grew, just because I found it funny how he grew those Wolverine blades, and that was all I could think of.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I'm a very simple
All right.
man with this stuff.
Simple man. Now we gotta rank it. This is also a pretty good one. I don't think quite as good, probably. Like, I like Star is Born better for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I like this better than. I'm looking at this next string of episodes, and it might be actually kind of low, all things considered. Not super low. Like second, third. I think it's better than Dark Warrior, not as good as Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah.
Dark Warrior's 18, Itsy Bitsy Spider's 17.
Yeah, I'm good with putting Yolks on You as a new 18.
Okay, new number 18. The Yolk's on You. Well, folks, that's it. Next time on Mighty Morphin, you know what's coming. Green Candle time, baby. But next time on Cosmic Fury, which is also next week, I will tell you in a moment once I'm done fixing the numbers.
I've already done.
Look at you. As established, Mr. Fast Fingers once again.
Fast as fuck, boy.
That's my favorite clip of Keemstar.
Yeah, I love it.
But alright, folks, there we go on that. And let's find out what we're talking about next week. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, Episode 7, Operation Seasoning, and Switching Sides.
Yeah.
Which I assume is the episode where Ollie switches back to good. That is as we've established, that is my guess. And we'll find out next week.
It makes the most sense. I can't remember, but I would assume so.
How we doing on time? I can't see because we're recording with OBS today, so sorry if we sound different.
Time is an hour, roughly.
Okay, we've hit the magic hour. It might go down a little bit once we cut silence, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, we haven't hit the hour, but we're close. 55 minutes.
Oh, we're still 5 minutes short of the hour. Oh shit. I guess looking forward, Green Candle. This episode makes you nervous, I'm told.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about what happens to Tommy. My boy. My green goat.
Oh, Green Goat. Yeah. I hate to see him go. I actually, funnily enough, I didn't do this last time. I have seen all of Mighty Morphin now. But there was a time before I watched all of Mighty Morphin where I watched most of Mighty Morphin. But the one exception was I skipped every episode that Tommy was not in. Or at least that Tommy was not an active Power Ranger in, because I didn't know I didn't know to skip the Rock Star, which he's just randomly not in for no reason. But I skipped every episode before Green with Evil, and then every episode between Green Candle and Return of an Old Friend, and then every episode between Green No More and White Light.
Yeah.
Because I was there for one man.
I can respect it, but if you're gonna watch a show, you might as well watch the entire thing.
Yes, which I eventually did, and there's a lot of good episodes without Tommy. Which a lot of the top of our list, I think, is pre-Tommy. Looking at it, Different Drum was before Tommy. Power Ranger Punks was before Tommy. Switching Places, Happy Birthday Zach, Food Fight. Was Happy Birthday Zach before Tommy? It was. It definitely was. And then Life's a Masquerade, which did have Tommy in it. Wheel of Misfortune, which did have Tommy. Foul Play in the Sky, which was before Tommy, and Peace, Love, and Woe, which was before Tommy. So a strong majority of our top 10 is pre-Tommy.
In fact, our entire top 5 episodes, apart from Green of Evil, is pre-Tommy.
So yeah, Tommy is not the most important, but we love Tommy, because Tommy also is definitely leading the board on favorite character picks by a long shot. I like Tommy a lot. I'm very excited. I like the Green Ranger stuff, but it's always just a relief when you get to White Light for me as a big Tommy fan. Because from White Light, the next 4 seasons is just you never have to worry about Tommy again. He's always going to be there for you.
And at least from there, he's actually going to be an active part of the fights.
That's true. Yes, he is going to be the most active because he's not become the Red Ranger in color in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2, but he does become the Red Ranger in role. And then he just becomes the Red Ranger actually in Zeo.
There's no secret that my favorite Tommy suit is the Green Ranger, but if he gets more active in the White Ranger suit, which apparently he does, then I might like his involvement there a bit more.
I am interested to see how you feel about that, because White and Red Zeo are my favorite Tommies, because I like Tommy as the main character. I'm into the Tommy show. I like him as the leader. I like him as like the top matriarch of the team. And I think he's a really well done character in that regard. So I'm very excited to get there, and I'm excited to see how you feel, because it's an era of Tommy that you really have not seen much of. You've seen Green Ranger versus White Ranger, and that's about it.
Yeah, I've only really seen Green Ranger Tommy and Black Ranger Tommy. I like him as a whole, but I've seen Green Ranger one because, Evil Ranger. That's kind of my vibe. And I've seen Black Ranger stuff because I was just watching Dino Thunder as it came out.
Yeah, no, you. The one part of Tommy you have not seen is the part where he's the main character of the show.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and just like that, we've hit the hour mark.
Yeah, well, we're trying to stall it. It's not gonna quite hit it if we end now, but that's okay. I think we've logically reached a point where it's time for plugs. Nightster, what do you got for us?
Well, you can find me on my main channel, Nightster, and on the collab channel with me, Riely, and hopefully some other guests, well, not guests, but other members of the channel that I'm trying to get back into it. Toku Thrill.
Yeah, the friend group is back a little bit, so hopefully we're gonna get some more people.
And I've messaged a couple of them, and they have expressed interest in recording. So,
but nobody wants to review Shin Kamen Rider with me. Tragic.
Hopefully this weekend there's going to be a video recorded with Izzy. Maybe next weekend or something, or the weekend after. Something with Sarah. I might try and get Metal One for something. Maybe Nerd and Fund. I haven't really spoken to them much, but we'll see. And how about you?
But alright. If you head over to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe, that's RIELY Cinematic Universe, podcasts, YouTube channels, all sorts of shenanigans can be found there. Live shows. If you want to talk to me live in a chat, be a part of the experience. I do 2 of those on Thursdays, so tomorrow, as of when you're hearing this, because this goes out Wednesday mornings, at noon on Thursdays, noon Eastern, at youtube.com/@demigloom. I do a show called The Trans Fat Experience. I am a fat man. Demigloom is a trans woman, and we talk about stuff. And that's the show. And it's a good time, and you should watch it. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, you can go to my YouTube channel, Riely and Friends, and you can catch the Death Stream, which is a current events and politics show with my good friend Brad. Nightster was on it once. It was cool.
Yeah, talking about
and that's
politics.
it. And many more at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's about it, Nightster. Thank you for listening to Megazord Radio. Till next time, we're morphin' out of here. It's morphin' time!